Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Justa's Conversation, right here on Usala Radio, with your host, Brian O'Neill and Luis Gonzalez.
Morning, everybody. To another edition of a Justice Conversation. My name is Suave Gonzalez and Dr. Brian O'Neill. He couldn't be here today because he's sick. But however, today we're going to have an important show on voting. And we got two very important guests out in the community at Concilio. They're holding an event today out there to try to get people registered to vote and educate them. So welcome to the show. One of our guests is Gilberto Gonzalez and Charito Morales. Welcome to a Justice Conversation.
All right, thank you, man.
Thank you.
We're going to get right into it. Right now, we talking about getting people out to vote. What event is taking place today, and why is it important for people to come out and vote?
Charito, go first.
Well, it's important for people to go out and vote and register, and also ask for mail-in ballots. It's a lot of things going on right now. The Latino voters are really important. Why is so important? Because people need to register. We need to go and register. It's important also because we have a lot of families that has come over here and they're going to vote for the first time for the presidential candidate. I'm talking about the people from the island of Puerto Rico. They just have become diaspora. And also it's important because if you want to change the course of the issues that we have, the disequality and the oppression, it's important that everybody register to go out and vote. Please cast your vote because in the Latino community, we are being more oppressed than any other one. So this is so important for us. It's a challenge.
Yeah, I also want to add that to what Charito was saying is that, change starts now. This effort today is about empowering the Latino vote, which we need. People need to vote so that we can change things in our community. So it's not just let's vote for president this time. No, it is vote for president. And then in 2022, you vote again. In 2024, you get involved. And we're going to change, really empower the Latino vote in this city.
So what is at stake in these elections for Latinos?
I'm sorry, say that again?
I said, what is at stake in these coming elections for Latinos?
What's at stake is if we don't come out and vote, number one, I'll be very honest. This is a bipartisan event, but I mean, we have a racist in the White House. We really need to, in Philadelphia and throughout Pennsylvania, we really need to send a strong message that racism will not be tolerated. That's number one. Number two is the strength of the Latino vote is going to win Pennsylvania, and that strength is going to equal the betterment of our community. That is what's at stake here. It is our communities and making sure that everyone in the barrio up in North Philly realize that their vote matters and it is important. It is imperative that they realize that.
It is. In terms of health, we need people to go out and vote if you want to have access to health. You want to have better access to libraries. You want to have better access for education. You want to have better access for all the programs that we have, funding from the government or funding from the federal government. If you want to have more opportunities out here, you have to go out, you have to register, you have to cast your vote in November 3rd. We also have to keep in mind that we have 17 early voting places in the city of Philadelphia, and we are outreaching the community in Spanish and English for them to understand how important it is and for them to have the proper information. Also, I want to add that we have four questions that we have to answer. Those questions are really important for the community of Philadelphia.
So, Charito, we know that there is no secret that you are a very aggressive community activist. You've been out in the community educating people to go out and vote. But let's be real, there's a lot of Latinos that will probably say, my vote don't count. Why should I go out and vote? Why should Latinos go out and vote? Sometimes we feel in the Latino community the only time we see people encourages us to vote is when they need our vote. So why should we go? Why should Latinos go out and vote?
I'm gonna tell you right now, the community is really fed up. The community is upset. The community has lost hope. The community don't trust the politician because they only shut up when they want their people to go out and vote, and they promise issues and things, and they never comply with that once they are in the chair. But we have to change that set of mind. We have to bring back hope. We got to explain to them that it's important and they need to cast their vote because that's how we create a powerful changes into our community and we can help politicians accountable once they are in the chair. So we're gonna do a report card for them, and we're gonna follow up with them. This is why it's so important. The Latino voter has to change their mind and go out and vote. Que voten es importante. Su voto es su voz. Okay?
And the other thing I want to is very important is that the way we're going to improve the life of people in Puerto Rico is voting here because the laws that govern Puerto Rico are made by the Congress of this country. So it is imperative that people realize that we need to vote people into Congress, not just the president, but into Congress that will support an agenda for Puerto Ricans here and on the island.
But as a Puerto Rican coming living in the island, I can't vote for president. So why should I vote in these elections?
So in Puerto Rico is a symbolic vote, and it really doesn't count for the overall vote. But if you're Puerto Rican and you live in Philadelphia, you live on the mainland United States, your vote counts. Your vote actually counts.
So so I say this: what is going on in the community today that y'all having this event? Who's sponsoring it and who's involved?
So what we're doing today is we're going to walk to communities of Feltonville and Juniata. This is a movement by grassroots groups. This event was organized by the Red Brick Committee. It was organized by People for Puerto Rico, Power for Puerto Rico, and Charito Morales in partnership with Concilio, and also supported by the Philadelphia Prevention Partnership, all organizations that support grassroots leadership in the city.
So, in the last 2, 3 months, we've been seeing you out in the community, registering people to vote every weekend, holding different events. What is the power of voting means to you, Gilberto Gonzalez?
The power of vote, what it means is that if people can realize that, I mean, just in this area of Juniata and Feltonville, um, like north part of Philadelphia, there are almost 200,000 Puerto Ricans. That's not counting the Dominicans, the Colombians, the Cubans, and everybody else. Um, this is about getting the representation that we finally need in this city, in this state, and in this country, because that's how we're going to deal with the issues in our community is to have the leadership and the representation in political offices.
I'm glad you said that because a lot of people think that voting just means voting for the president. Can you speak a little bit about
So
why is it important to vote in the city for the municipal elections, and why should people get involved in city elections?
so every like for example, like with the Black Lives Matter movement, a lot of the laws that are that allow police to do that kind of behavior and get away with it, those laws are made by our city council and our mayor. So right now, everybody's talking a great game, but no one's talking about the policy changes and the laws that need to be changed because they fear that they're going to lose their jobs, they're going to lose their position at City Hall. But the reality is, if we elect people that are brave, that will change the laws, that will change the policies that allow rogue police officers to continually kill Black and brown people, that's why your vote is important, because we can elect people that will make those changes locally and at the state and at the federal level. So every election is important.
So let me ask you this, Mr. Gonzalez. If if the Latino votes matter, why is it that in some communities the only people have seen is either your face or Charito Morales' face? Why is the Democrat Party not going door to door
So,
engaging people and enrolling people.
so there are a lot of moving parts to that question. And I'll tell you, you're right. There is no investment by the Democratic Party in Philadelphia because our leadership here, our city council people, our state rep people, they're traveling the state of Pennsylvania to try to convince those counties that Pennsylvania lost to Trump, to convince them to go to Democrat. In Philadelphia, the Democratic Party has us basically in lockdown. They can buy enough votes to win Philadelphia, the delegates from Philadelphia. That's why they're not investing. But we feel that we need to walk door to door because if if they're not willing to build our strength, we have to build the strength ourselves. We have to build that political strength and that power of the vote. We have to do it ourselves. And that's why we're doing what we're doing. And again, the party has not been very supportive of this, but we're going to go forward. And we got people coming from New York today.
And let me backtrack and part of your question when you said the Democratic Party feel that they could buy votes. What do you actually mean by that?
So the Philadelphia is a Democratic town, right? So, you know, poll workers, from poll workers to judges of elections, all that stuff, all those people are Democrats, and those positions, like when they work the polls, that's their vacation money, and I don't blame them. That's their vacation money. That's their Christmas money. But again, there's a lot of moving parts to it, but it's like they already have the city on lockdown, so they're not really concerned about us. I don't know if that answers your question, but we have to change that mindset that since they're not investing in us, we're not worth it. We have to say yes, we're worth it, and we have to show it at the polls.
When you say us, you mean
Black and brown people from Philadelphia, because if you look at our communities, the Democratic Party has been in power in this city for the last 50 years or more. And we're one of the poorest communities in the country. We have one of the worst opiate epidemics. We have a huge population of homeless people. The list of issues go on, all under the watch of the Democrats in Philadelphia. I'm just being honest.
I mean, I understand, but as a Latino, I just feel that the Latino leadership in Philadelphia has failed us tremendously. The Latino
Yeah,
leadership, the Latino leadership has not been out there encouraging the Latinos to vote.
exactly.
But yet, when they're running for office, they go door to door when it's for them
Exactly.
to their benefits. And
Exactly.
I just want to say to our listeners out there that the reason we should go out and vote is because your voice matters. You could make the difference, right?
Exactly.
And I'm appealing to you personally as an ex-offender that if you are an ex-offender, you can vote. You can register to vote. You matters. You are the most important person in this election. If we don't go out and vote in these elections, then we cannot complain on November 4th. We cannot complain. This is our
Right.
chance. This is our
Exactly.
chance. This is our chance to raise our voice. This is a chance to join a movement that will make history. You know,
Exactly.
and the reason I wanted you on the show and Charito Morales is because every time you go down North Philly, your faces pop up everywhere.
Hmm.
Y'all doing this. Y'all not even getting paid for doing this,
Nope.
right? And the beauty of it is that y'all doing this because y'all are citizens of the city and y'all care about our people. So
Exactly.
I want to ask you a personal question. When you go door to door and ask people to come out and vote, what do you gain from that on a
Well,
personal level?
for me, my gain is that, especially with the people that we engage, um, is that we engage in those conversations that are hard to have. And in having those conversations, many times people realize their power and the power of their vote, and then they're encouraged to come out and vote. And that's what I get out of it. What I get out of it is that if we can realize the power of our vote, then we can change the narrative in North Philadelphia for the better, for the better. And that's what I'm going to get. That's what I want. I want North Philadelphia to be better.
So why is it that we have to bring people in from New York to encourage the people in Philadelphia to come out and vote?
So again, like I reached out to the political establishment in Philadelphia to help us out today in Juniata and Feltonville, and we got no response for weeks. We called them, had conversations with them, had no response. Luckily, Karen Rodriguez from Bristol and Erica from New York, from Power for Puerto Rico and People for Puerto Rico, they answered the call. They said, Gil, we're going to go down and help you, Gil. We're going to bring our people down because we were not getting the support here. And again, those are national organization. That's a grassroots Puerto Rican organization. People for Puerto Rico is a statewide group, and they just decided. They said, "Gil, we're going to go down there and we're going to make everybody realize that their vote is important and it matters, despite that we're getting no support."
I mean, in this past week, we saw the vice presidential debate.
Mhm.
We saw that debate, and we also saw how the vice president tried to ignore a bunch of questions.
I'm sorry,
The
sis.
president debate, and our selection for president is not much. On one hand, we have a racist that's in the White House, and the
Right.
other hand, we have another man that don't have such a pretty record when it comes to voting for issues that benefit the Latino community. Why should we vote for either one of them?
So this is where the power of the vote starts, right? Since historically we have not participated in politics, um, that is why we are in the situation we are in today. Because in the last election we did not allow our voice to be heard. Latinos did not come out to vote. This time, for me, we cannot have a racist in the White House, right? But this is the first step. Voting for president is the first step in accountability. Whoever wins the presidency, we got to hold them accountable every day, every week. We got to make sure that they are serving the people of this country and not the wealthy people, not the people in power, not the establishment, but that they're serving everyone. And that first step is voting for president. And to be honest, with my perspective is we cannot have a straight out racist in the White House. He is a straight out racist, made it very clear many times that he's a straight out racist. We cannot have that in the White House. We cannot have a person like that representing us.
So how do we convince the little old Latinas, the little old lady Latinas that don't speak English to come out and vote on November 3rd? How do we convince them? How do we ensure them that they vote matter, that they're going to be safe going to the polls? With this pandemic and everything that's been going on, the fear that the
Right.
president been trying to plant in people's head. How do we convince all Latino people, the little old ladies that perhaps are scared to come out and stand in line and go to the polls? How do we convince them? And what are we doing as an organization to ensure that they vote matter and that they
Right.
are safe in the polls?
So again, there are a lot of moving parts to that. I think the first part is we are doing voter registration in Spanish and English. We're doing application for mail-in ballot, and we're helping people fill those out. And with the help of the ACLU, we get those people registered and get the application for mail-in ballot done. And then the second part to that is having the conversations with folks, because folks will they do want to go to and vote because they don't trust the mail-in ballot. And some actually want to do the mail-in ballot because of COVID. I mean, it's like a 50-50 thing. And we have to meet them where they are. We have to make them feel comfortable where they are. If they're going to vote at the polls, then, hey, look, wear a glove, wear a mask, take hand sanitizer, do what you got to do to protect yourself. If you're going to do the mail-in ballot, you have to do the same thing because you have to take it to a place that will accept the mail-in ballot. Again, think safety from COVID. Wear your mask.
I mean, I think that the event y'all doing today is beautiful, but are we planning
Thank
on
you.
doing? But are we planning on doing anything for November 3rd to ensure that the little viejitas that don't have a ride to get to the voting places? Are we going to have a team of people out there safeguarding the people that perhaps don't feel safe going alone to vote?
So that's again, that's a lot of moving parts, and to do that kind of stuff, you need money, and usually the Democratic Party has money to transport senior citizens and move people around, but I don't think that's going to happen in Philadelphia. So we're going to have to create something to help people. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen.
Okay. So tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit of what's the expectation for today, and what are we trying to reach today? What is the goal for the day?
So again, today we're going to have a table at I and Hunting Park near the Marshalls. We're going to register people there, and an information table. We're also going to be walking Feltonville and Juniata, walking the neighborhoods, making sure, knocking door to door, and having conversations, registering people, and doing the mail-in ballot. If people so want to do the mail-in ballot, we'll help them with that. We're also giving them information and a voter reminder card that November 3rd is the election. They have a real nice card they can stick on their refrigerator. I'll show you real quick. We have these. Yeah, and we're out here, man. We're gonna be hitting it pretty soon.
And how many people are there right now taking on this mission today?
Say that again.
How many people are out there today taking on this mission?
So from Philly, it looks like we're gonna have maybe close to 10 folks from Philly and about maybe 10 to 15 from New York.
Oh, can you turn the camera around so we can get a shot of what the people? Of what's
Some
going
of the
on?
people already over there.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
also.
they already assembling over there, all the tables and the tents and stuff like that. The delivery for the 8 pallets of food, we're gonna give out to also to the people in the community from share programs. So we're gonna be providing food, we're gonna be providing resources, we're gonna stop the traffic. People already know we just outreach the community with flyers. So it's gonna be a big thing. So we have people over there already, and we have some over here doing the meetings, and from there we go.
Yep, that's it, man. That's the plan.
And Charito, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
As a Latina,
Mm-hmm.
well, with deeply Puerto Rican roots on both sides, Philadelphia and the island, why should Latina women come out and let their voice be heard on November 3rd?
Because we have a lot of mothers like me that we were single mothers and we struggle to find good positions, paid jobs. That's one thing which is important. We need more access to our health care because our children need that, to keep them healthy. And we believe that we need more education for our children. I believe they can do better than what we do in life. So as a Latina, as a Puerto Rican in the diaspora and indigenous, I believe that our voice is our vote, and we know, hey, we are in charge. Latina women was quiet for a long time, man. There was this equality in voting. It was the machismo thing. Now we're taking everything. So we're gonna go out. We're gonna vote. We outreaching, and it's something that I will say in Spanish. La mujer sabia edifica su casa means the women we lift our homes, and we took it. Men believe to be the head of the household. Man, we are in 2020, going 2021. The female is the one of the head of household.
So, what is the demographic? How, if you know the numbers, what is the number of Latinos registered in Philadelphia to vote?
Right now in Philadelphia, the numbers, wow, I will tell you right now, in my area right here that we are reaching, we have more than 3,516 families newly registered to vote after they came over here from Hurricane Maria. That's a big number. That's something that we have to keep in consideration. And most of them are females, women, Latinas.
So, do you think that if we come out and vote on November 3rd, when I say we, I'm talking about Latinos, do you think we could make a difference in these elections?
Oh, Definitely. And we are more ready because now this is the year that we are being more aggressive outreach in the communities. We're going to continue doing so until the last moment. And we're going to keep educating our people. This time we are educating the people, nonprofit organizations and different groups in terms of like outreach in the community, explain to them to vote for the president, vote for the chairs and different positions, and also how to answer the questions. I believe the outreach is bringing good knowledge knowledge, and now people wanting to know more. And this is why people are registering to vote. People asking for mail-in ballots. A lot of people, especially the Latinos, they do not believe in mail-in ballots, so they're gonna be doing the lines. They know they gotta bring the face mask, the hand sanitizer, a chair, a cooler, an umbrella, but they're gonna cast their vote. I believe in that, and I think we're doing tremendous job, especially here at Concilio. Concilio is doing this also. We're going out, we are reaching the community, which is important.
So, how long you been working with Concilio on this mission, and
Concilio
what?
has been here for a lot of years, but I've been in Concilio for the last couple of weeks, working, getting everything together to cast, to outreach the communities, and we're gonna continue doing so.
And to the first time voters, they probably will be voting for the first time in these elections. What is your message to them?
Please come out and vote. If you need more information, you can ask. Call Concilio also. It's 141 East Hunting Park, or contact Charito Morales, 215-847-0256. I can help you, explain to you. We cannot tell you for who you got to vote, but we can provide you with the right information, the proper information in your own language.
And with that, my people, we're going on a commercial break. You're listening to a Justice Conversation on Usala Media Radio.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I wasn't sure if I could do it. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but the teachers, the counselors, they help you. One of the teachers was Miss Araceli. Miss Araceli, she gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll come over and she'll sit there with you until you get it.
Thank you, Ms. Araceli. I know you make a difference in people's lives because of the person and teacher you are. I wanted to be here because I wanted to thank you for helping me get a beautiful gift.
50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work. Getting your high school diploma, it is a life-changing experience. It really is.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Having a conversation with Dr. Gonzalez that's out in the community right now, live, registering people to vote in Juniata. Um, People, please come out and support these brothers and sisters. They make the long trip from New York to come out here to educate you on the power of voting. It is important that the community get involved. We counting on you to come out November 3rd and make a difference. Your voice will make a difference in this community. It's time. So Gilbert, for the first for the people that's coming out for the first time to vote in these elections, what is your message to them?
I'm sorry, say this again?
For the people that's coming out for the first time in these elections to vote, what is your message to them?
That your vote counts, your vote matters. That don't be afraid. If you have never voted before, just don't be afraid. Just do it.
And
Just do it and vote.
and for you, what is your personal message to the community? We know that you've been out in the community for decades, educating people on certain issues. Why is this time is different?
It's, I mean, I've lived in the city all my life and I've seen it go from bad to worse. And the way we're going to change it is by getting active and starting to vote. The only way we're going to change this, right? Because a lot of people complain and they don't vote. The only way we're going to change this is for people to vote.
You heard that, people? The only way
What time are you leaving again?
that we're going to make a difference in
No,
this
what
community
time are you leaving?
is for you to come out and
Okay,
vote.
okay.
You know, we do these shows because we care about the people. We do these shows because we want to educate the people. We do these shows because if we don't, then we're doing a disservice to you. Today's show is different. It's like no other. We live in the community where these people are
Yeah.
watching and embark, walking door to door, recruiting people and talking to people. Do you understand what that means, my
Yep.
people?
Uh,
We are living in a pandemic, and these people are willing to put their life in danger, to sacrifice themselves just so you can come out and
yeah.
vote and know your rights to vote. This is deep. Not
Yeah.
too many people are doing this. Not too many people are willing to sacrifice their health just
Um,
so you can know what is the power of voting. These people are doing it and they deserve your support. So if you live in the Juniata section of Philadelphia, come out and vote. And if you are registered to vote, come out and engage them, embrace
vote.
them,
Yes.
encourage them. They need your support. It is important that you come out and vote. Gilbert, we got a few more minutes, man.
I,
I just want you and a few other people in there, to come out and quickly tell the community why they should support y'all.
okay, real quick. Hold on. Here, Israel. He wants you to say like, why is it important for you to come out and vote? And if you can say too. So
Oh, yes, definitely. Absolutely, man. It's very important for us to come out and vote. This election right here is probably going to be one of the most important elections ever in history. And we have to make sure that the Latino community, is present and that we vote nicely. And therefore, we can ensure the next 4 years would be in our favor instead of against us. If that makes any sense.
And what is your name?
My name is Israel Moreno.
And where you from?
I am from North Philadelphia.
Okay, so as a North Philadelphian, why is it important for young people to come out and vote?
Well, I personally believe it's important because we have been one of the most neglected communities ever in the history of Philadelphia. And I think it's going to continue to be like that unless we, step out from. Therefore, not just issues ranging, from the political arena, as well as, something local, like the gentrification, the drug epidemic. All these things can be, done away if we all kind of work together like a unit, a family, for the betterment of our people.
So before I let you go, what did it feel like for you when you voted for the very first time?
What did it feel like?
Yes.
Voting for the very first time?
Yes.
It felt very empowering. It felt like now my voice can truly be heard. I am no longer just an obscure statistic or number in the inner city. At least my voice is being heard, and I think it does something to empower our people and to allow us to take part in this process. You know what I'm saying? Like this is something that we have a right to be able to vote, and I think we should exercise that every time that we're given the opportunity to do so.
So why should people in the Feltonville section embrace what y'all doing today? What is the significance of today?
What was that?
I said, why should people in the Feltonville section in Juniata embrace what y'all doing today? Why is that important?
Okay. Well, it is very important that that hopefully they do embrace what we're doing, because what we're doing is not just for us. What we're doing this for all the Latinos, for all the people who feel as though they don't have a voice, and for all the people who may be a little bit perplexed by how complicated politics can be. We're simplifying it for them. We're bringing it to their doorstep. We're making it simple, mail-in ballots, ya tu sabes, all that. So like I said, this is something that takes time. It takes time to understand where is it going, where it is now, and where we hope to see it in the future. But like what we're doing, like I said, man, para la gente latina del norte, all across, you know what I'm saying, Philly. Educate them in this topic, because sometimes they may not know. They may feel a little bit, disenfranchised or pessimistic. But if we all group together and all our votes count, then we can really truly start making a difference.
Thank you for taking time to talking to us on a justice conversation on Usala Radio. Who is next to you?
Okay, mira, ¿quién más? You can talk to her. Okay, we got, okay, one more person is coming. You want me to take the box and we switch?
Hello, Janessa Rivera, Deputy Director with Concilio. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Welcome for taking time to talk to us on Usala Media Radio. And, we just doing a special report on the work that y'all doing out there and encouraging people to come out and vote. And as the executive director, why is it important?
Deputy Director.
Oh, deputy director, excuse me.
Deputy Director.
And so why is it so important that all Latino community get involved in this upcoming election?
Well, Concilio believes it's important for everybody to go out and vote. Specifically today, we're targeting the Latino community, but we really think that it's important that everybody goes out and vote, because every single vote is going to make a difference in this election. Being the voice of the community and being a staple in the community, we have seen the boundaries and barriers that our consumers have experienced. And a lot of that comes from their lack of knowledge, their lack of resources, a lot of gaps in the community. And the only way to change that is to use your voice to make a difference, right? So it starts within our community, in our neighborhood. And the biggest thing that the agency wants to do is make it common, make it a routine that they vote, not just for this election, but for every election, because every election is important to our communities. Okay, so this election, the presidential election, is the biggest one, is the most popular one, it's the one that everybody knows about. So of course we want them to know, hey, you have a voice of all the things that you've mentioned that you don't like to see. Why are we not paying attention to the surrounding communities? Why is the county and the city getting a bad rep? Why are our people getting a bad rep? Why are the consumers who need these services not receiving the services that they need? Why are the schools making the decisions that they're making? Why are we getting defunded? Why are the park recs not open? Why are services not free? Why is transportation not more available? All of those things that our consumers come to us and need help with, those are all the things that anyone that is going for any position, whether it's local or state or federal, they all have a voice. And we just want our consumers and residents to know that there is somebody that can help you in whatever your need is. And that's why it's important to vote in every election, including this election. So that's all the agency wants to promote, that in order for us to see true change, you first have to make the motions to vote and then see the change.
Concilio been a constant presence in the Latino community in Philadelphia for decades. But
almost 60 years.
Yes. Almost all my life. And I'm not really my age. But for those that just hearing about Concilio right now, what is Concilio? What do Concilio stand for in our community? How can they reach Concilio? How can, you got any websites, any phone number that perhaps the people that are probably becoming familiar with Concilio right now?
Yes, I think you can see my shirt right now. So www.concilio.net is our website. We have a beautiful office on 141 East Hunting Park. Our phone number is 215-627-3100. And our doors right now, we are not open to the public, but we are working. So if you call the phone number, you will be referred to who you need to be referred to. Right now, as the deputy director, I work closely with all the program managers and all of the departments. So if anybody has direct questions or they're not sure where to be directed to, they could email me at Janessa, JANESSA .Rivera@elconcilio.net. And I would make sure to refer their questions, their comments, their concerns to the right department, to the right person. Normally, though, outside of COVID, our doors are open to the community, right? We have an open door policy, and they could always come in and talk to anybody who's available. That's what we are. We are the central hub for everybody. Unfortunately, because of COVID, our doors are not open to the public, but our phones, our emails, absolutely. We talk to them all the time. And we have 2 community access centers for the children that are having problems with the virtual schooling and they need somewhere to go. So we were fortunate enough to have 2 community access centers, one at Diston Park and Rec site and one right here at our main office. So we are fully functioning for those programs. All of our other programs are remote, but our staff is working. Our staff is working even more hard from home than they were working in the offices to assist everybody with the help that they always needed and the new challenges and barriers due to the circumstances.
And is Concilio going to have a present on November 3rd, in the polls, because there's a lot of abuelitas and a lot of abuelitos out there that perhaps don't want to vote by mail and want to go to the polls, but are scared. Some of them, because of the language barrier, might not want to go. Is Concilio going to have a presence out there in the community, encouraging people to go? Are we going to see some of that on November 3rd?
Charito Morales is the person who is working closely with Concilio regarding the voter registration. She has taken this idea that we had to be a voice for the community and really put it on her back and ran with it. So Charito Morales does everything that she needs to do to make sure that the people feel comfortable. Along with this event today on the 10th, we have an event on the 17th. We have been taking ballots in a ballot box to drop it off for those that don't feel comfortable going on the day of. So we've been doing things in the interim, and absolutely, she will make sure that on November 3rd, they continue to feel heard and safe.
So before we go, what is the event on the 17th?
Same thing that we're doing today, another canvassing, being out at the rec center by Hunting Park and doing the same thing, just getting people signed up to vote, registered to vote, because we know we have until October 19th. So we want to really just work all the way until the last possible minute. So exact same thing we're doing today, just a different location.
I mean, on behalf of Usala Media Radio and the Justice Conversation, we want to thank you for taking time to talking to us and educating the people. I think that we should use every platform that we have available right now to spread the word. And that's what we're doing. This is why we're doing this show live. Normally we'd be in the studio, but I want to thank you personally because although we never met, I am familiar with your work. I've been out in the community with Gilbert Gonzalez every weekend, getting people registered to vote. Our platform, which is a radio show, to get the message out. And I just think that this is a perfect opportunity for us to work beyond the elections together. Because I think that the elections is cool, it's important, but we need to be a constant presence in the Latino community. Those of us that have the resources and the platform, reminding the people they're not alone. Reminding the people that this is not just about November 3rd. This is about everyday living, about our condition in the community. So I just want to thank you and Concilio and know that our doors are open. Whatever resources we have, we're willing to share with y'all. As long as we know that the community is benefiting from it. So thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for taking the time to cover it. Like you said, we need every platform. We need everybody to chip in because, right, it takes a village, and that's what we're doing.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Is Gilbert still around?
We actually got a whole bunch of food too donated to us. So
Janessa is also
Yo, all right, my brother.
In closing,
Gotta run, my man.
Yeah, in closing, Any last words for the community in closing from you and Charito? Briefly.
Mi pueblo, voten, voten, mi pueblo.
Su voto es su voz, Concilio.
Voten, voten, lo necesitamos, por favor. We love you. Vote.
And thank you for being on the show. Good luck today. We'll be in touch. And for the people out there that's listening to the show, it's very important that we come out on November 3rd and go out and vote. These elections are like no elections that you've seen before. We need you. We want you to come out and participate. Let your voice be heard. Because if they don't, then you can't complain. Right now, at these times, we need to send the message that Latinos matter. Yep. You know, often you'll hear Black Lives Matter. True. Yep. But brown lives also matter.
Israel.
The same issues that's affecting the African American community is affecting the Latino community. We just don't see it in the news because they don't publicize it.
Are you going to head over to the other place?
A civil duty,
Thank you, man.
if you are a citizen and registered to vote, to come out and vote on November 3rd. And with that, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Usala Media for allowing us to use this platform to encourage our community. Next week on the Justice Conversation, we will be talking to the Lieutenant Governor of Pennsylvania. So tune in for that show because it's going to be interesting. So thank you. And you're listening to a Justice Conversation on Usala Media Radio. We see you next week. Thank you for tuning in.